Taking a break from dumping on the live action Little Mermaid, I went around the web to find something else to dump on and came across this article from Polygon and, well, changed my mind and figured I'd talk about something I thoroughly enjoyed. And this is an interesting article, an interesting theory, and let's see what it has to say. Let's talk about Spider Man Across the Spider Verse's biggest plot contradiction. Now, what could be this contradiction? Now, before we go any further, this is going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, what on earth are you waiting for? Highly recommend it. It was a good movie. Fantastic. Beautiful artwork. Talking about it more on the live stream tonight. Hope you join us there. But Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central, come join us. But the clash feels intentional for Beyond the Spider Verse. Scrolling down. Again, spoilers. See, look, even Polygon said, hey, we're going to contain some major spoilers. It's no secret at this point that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ends on a ginormous cliffhanger, one we won't get to see until Resolved 2024, March 2024. Not that much, not that long. It'll pass by no problem. A lot of themes and plot points led up to the cliffhanger, but most importantly, there are two big revelations from Miles Morales in this movie that spur along the final moments. Here's the thing, though. These two huge truths might contradict each other. We'll see. Or they could fix each other, or that could be used as a giant jumping off point for the franchise's themes of fate and interconnection, or all of the above, or none of the above. It could have been just the writers forgot, which, based on the writing of the movie, I would think it was planned, and it's going to be used in the next movie. I thought the story beats, the different, I guess, plots, the multiple arcs in the movie, they were well done. They interacted with each other in an intelligent manner, and I just thought it was well done. So I can't imagine that it's just a plot hole that they forgot about. So again, spoilers. First big thing Miles learns in Across the Spider-Verse is that all the alternate versions of him across the multiverse are linked not just by their spider abilities, but by canon events, big life moments they all experience, or more importantly, they all have to experience. For instance, the police captain close to Spider-Man always dies, crushed by falling rubble to save a child. Miles realizes that his father, Jeff, who just recently got promoted to captain, is going to die in just a couple of days. Well, that's because Spot says, I'm going to take everything away from you. So, yeah, of course he knows that his family's going to die because Spot said, I'm going to go kill them all. Miles wants to save his father because that's what Spider-Man does. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. The basic concept of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, whoever, whatever you want to call him, whatever universe's version his name is, the core belief that Spider-Man has always held is, I'm going to do everything humanly possible to save as many people as it can. There is no collateral damage if it can be helped. The idea that someone has to die in order for the universe to be saved. No, Peter Parker does not believe in that. Spider-Man, just Spider-Man, does not agree with that, doesn't go along with it, even at risk to his own life. So Miles obviously wants to save his father, but the Interdimensional Spider Coalition's head honcho, Miguel O'Hara, a.k.a. Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaacs, who's played like 3 separate Marvel characters, says he can't, and then traps Miles, blah, blah, blah. If you've seen the movie, you know all this stuff. Chase escalates. Miguel, here's the fun part. Miguel reveals that Miles is actually the original Anomaly. I thought that was very interesting. It is also very meta, in a sense that Meta, not Facebook, meta is a term used to describe real life information, interactions, and whatnot, and bringing it in to the story of a fictional universe. In this case, the idea that Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man, Miles Morales is Miles Morales, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and all that other shit. And people getting their panties in twists when you say all that stuff. But sorry, Miles Morales is a derivative of Spider-Man. Like it all you want to, hate it all you want to, don't care. No different than She-Hulk is a derivative of the Hulk. It is what it is. You move on. Make good stories. Yeah, I'm not going to start on that path. But it's bringing that argument into the movie, into the Spider-Verse. Miguel reveals that Miles is the original anomaly, reasons for every glitch currently taking place across the multiverse. The radioactive spider that bit Miles gave him his powers. Again, spoilers. Per the usual Spider-Man origin story, came from a different universe. That right there leads to what happens at the end of the movie. That universe doesn't have its own Spider-Man now, and Miles was never supposed to be the Spider-Man of that universe. It brings up a bunch of dialogue where Miguel snarls at Miles and says, "You don't belong here. You're not the actual Spider-Man. This is all your fault. You're not supposed to be here," and all this other stuff. And of course, Miles says, "Eat a dick," and says, "I'm going to do what I want. I am my own person," and so on. Miguel snarls at Miles, I already said that, doesn't belong among the other spider people. It hammers home what Miles' mother told him earlier. He should never let anyone tell him he doesn't belong. And of course he doesn't. Herein lies the contradiction. Now this is the interesting part. Polygon whoever wrote this did a pretty good job, surprisingly enough. Petrana, I'm not going to butcher Rudovic. Hope I did that right. I actually care this time. Oh my goodness. Where were we? Right here. I like Spot. The fight between Spot and, yeah, that was pretty cool. Herein lies the contradiction. And it's an interesting contradiction. If Miles isn't his universe's intended Spider-Man, why is his father on the chopping block? Could be the radioactive spider forced the role on Miles, but he's enough of a Spider-Man that his canon is proceeding normally. And I think that is the case. Whether or not he's supposed to be Spider-Man, he took over the quote-unquote canon in that universe, assumed the role of Spider-Man, and everything's moving along that line. As it says, he's filling the usual Spider role. Why would his existence be such an issue to Miguel? Well, because Miguel is obsessed. His character was, also well-written, well-performed. Miguel is just obsessed with not having any more universes implode on themselves because of what he went through. He had destroyed an entire universe simply because he wanted to be happy. He, I guess, was selfish in a sense to try and be with his family, and the result of that was the destruction of an entire world. He wants to make sure that doesn't happen again, and it has taken over his life, his mind, and almost made him the bad guy. More of, I guess, the anti-hero who is going to get the end result in any way possible, no matter the cost, to keep the universes intact in following the same, I guess, canon. Let's see. Wouldn't that make everyone happy, albeit lonely? Okay, well, I've skipped something. If Miles is an anomaly who's outside the normal Spider canon, why can't he just go ahead and save his dad and let his connection to the rest of the Spider people dissolve? That is also something that could happen. It could be the realization, that could be a realization at the end where Miles and the Spider crew that Gwen Stacy gets together at the end of the movie, they save the day. The Spot is defeated, Miles' dad lives, and then nothing happens. There's no anomaly. Everything's nice and peaceful, and it moves on. And that's where the realization comes in, that because Miles isn't supposed to be the Spider-Man of that universe, everything is going on as normal. That could be the story beat of the third movie. So Miguel thinks breaking the canon would destroy Miles' universe. Would it also call the whole universe to come crashing down? I think one question is, if the previous universe that the Spider is from doesn't have a Spider-Man, why isn't that universe suffering the same fate if the canon events aren't happening? That's a whole other question I just thought of. This contradiction, either Miles is a canon Spider-Man or he isn't. He is. We all know that. It doesn't matter. Is one of the bigger plot questions Across the Spider-Verse leaves unresolved. I hope it is intentionally left unresolved to be solved in the next movie, because, again, I thought the writing was well done, the pacing and all that other stuff, the interwoven plot points and the story arcs in the movie, they were so well done. I can't imagine the writers would forget something like that. To be fair, by the end of the movie, the characters have more pressing issues to attend to than the minutiae of the Miles paradox. According to the writer, it isn't a plot hole. Well, it might turn out to be a plot hole. Hopefully not. This movie is, after all, part one of two, and there are a lot of things beyond the Spider-Verse to dig into in 2024. Thematically, the contradiction between Miguel's core truths about Miles challenge the notion of fate. Absolutely. Determinism and the free will that's built into the whole connected multiverse plot. Multiverse web. Whoops. Plot-wise, the conflict could offer a solution to the Miles conundrum, and that's what I think is going to happen. It's almost too easy an assumption. It's the easiest assumption. Yeah, almost too easy. That because Miles wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man, that the canon events are already broken and there's no need to continue along that line. But also at the same time, it could be setting Miles up to make a sacrifice. But again, the Spider-Man character would do everything humanly possible to save everyone he can. As you could see in the movie, in the Bollywood section, where Miles goes after the police chief that's on the bridge to save his life, that causes the problems all in the first place. So I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be well done, at least regardless of the outcome in the third movie. I think it'll be, I hope it'll be well written. But hey, if the first two movies are anything to base it on, especially the second one, especially Across the Spider-Verse, as well as the pacing win in that one, I do believe they'll do a good job. I am thoroughly looking forward to it. March will not get here fast enough, but let me know what you think about this possible plot contradiction, plot hole. Is it going to be resolved? How do you think it's going to be resolved? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. I appreciate you making it this far nonetheless. Have a good one.